A journey through the Book of Esther, a chapter-level exploration. Part 1. Queen Vashti's Deposition and Esther's Ascent, chapters 1 to 2. Chapter 1. Persian King Ahasuerus, Xerxes, hosts a massive 6-month-long banquet of opulence for his officials and subjects, followed by a 7-day feast in Susa. During the final celebration, when the king drunkenly orders Queen Vashti to display her beauty before the guests, she refuses, prompting the king's advisors to depose her and issue a royal decree promoting male authority across the empire. Chapter 2. After a lengthy empire-wide search for a new queen, a young Jewish orphan named Esther, raised by her older cousin Mordecai, is brought into the palace harem and eventually wins the favor of Hegai and King Ahasuerus, who crowns her queen. Shortly after, Mordecai uncovers an assassination plot against the king by 2 royal guards and reports it, saving the king's life. Part 2. Haman's plot and Mordecai's appeal, chapters 3 to 5. Chapter 3. King Ahasuerus elevates an Agagite official named Haman to highest power, and all royal servants bow to him except Mordecai, who refuses out of principle. Enraged, Haman plots not just to kill Mordecai, but to systematically destroy, plunder, and annihilate all Jews throughout the entire Persian Empire, casting lots, the Purim, to choose the date of destruction, Adar 13, and securing the king's signet ring seal. Chapter 4. Upon learning of the decree, Mordecai tears his clothes, puts on sackcloth, and mourns publicly in the city square, sending a copy of the edict to Esther through Hathach and urging her to go before the king to plead for her people. Esther hesitates because approaching the king unsummoned carries the penalty of death unless the king extends his golden scepter, prompting Mordecai's famous warning that deliverance will arise from another place if she remains silent, and Esther calls for a 3-day fast. Chapter 5. Risking her life, Esther approaches the king, who extends his golden scepter to her. Instead of making her petition immediately, she invites the king and Haman to a private banquet, where she requests their presence at a second banquet the following day. Meanwhile, an arrogant Haman builds a towering 70-foot gallows to hang Mordecai. Part 3. The Turning of the Tables, chapters 6 to 8. Chapter 6. That very night, King Ahasuerus suffers from insomnia and asks for the royal historical chronicles to be read aloud, discovering that Mordecai was never rewarded for saving his life. Just as Haman arrives in the courtyard to ask permission to hang Mordecai, the king asks him what should be done for a man the king delights to honor. Believing the king means him, Haman outlines extravagant royal honors, only to be horrified when the king orders him to dress Mordecai in royal robes and lead him on a horse through the city square, proclaiming his honor. Chapter 7. During the second banquet, Esther reveals her Jewish identity to the king and exposes Haman's wicked plot to slaughter her and her people. A furious king storms out to the palace garden, and upon returning to find Haman falling across Esther's couch in panic, orders Haman to be executed immediately on the very gallows Haman built for Mordecai. Chapter 8. King Ahasuerus grants Haman's estate to Esther and gives Mordecai his royal signet ring. Because Persian laws written in the king's name cannot be revoked, the king issues a new counter-decree written by Mordecai, giving the Jews legal authority to assemble, defend themselves, and destroy any armed forces that attack them on the appointed day, filling Susa with joy and celebration. Part 4. Victory, Deliverance, and the Feast of Purim, chapters 9 to 10. Chapter 9. On the 13th of Adar, the Jews successfully defend themselves across the empire, striking down their enemies, including Haman's 10 sons in Susa, and institute the annual 2-day festival of Purim, named after the casting of lots, as a perpetual celebration of deliverance, feasting, and gift-giving. Chapter 10. King Ahasuerus imposes tribute across the land, and Mordecai is elevated to second in command next to the king, widely respected and seeking the welfare and peace of all his Jewish people. Epilogue. The Book of Esther shifts the narrative focus to the Jewish community living in the Persian diaspora, detailing how God preserves his people from annihilation through extraordinary providence, courage, and divine timing, even though God's name is never explicitly mentioned in the book.